Melodies of melanin, I'm digging in crates. Not a subject nor a predicate you couldn't relate. Just a living testament of what I couldn't debate. It's like we mortified of being more aligned with our fate. Shine, baby, I shine, baby, I shine. Yeah. I shine, baby, I shine, baby, I shine. Yeah. And light attracts light, so I be blind to be surprised by the fact that I find you. Treasure. Treasure, treasure.
Who's listening to the radio?
They just keep it on to deter.
Oh, they keep the radio on in here?
Yeah, I think it's to keep ghosts away.
Oh, okay. I guess the ghosts don't like the radio.
St. Louis fashion is extremely unique to say the least. Roughly divided into two sectors, grungy, gritty street fashion and upscale high fashion. These two worlds often collide to create unique works of art.
All right, let's sit in our meeting nook. I don't have 2 days in my life that are alike. I go from writing at a design firm downtown to planning events and parties with the St. Louis Fashion Fund to collaborating with friends who are photographers and makeup artists. I kind of have my hands in a lot of different pots, and that's kind of how I have kind of kept my job so exciting in my day-to-day.
Currently a board member of the St. Louis Fashion Fund, Sarah continues to open doors for young fashionistas following in her footsteps.
The St. Louis Fashion Fund is a nonprofit. It was started about 3 or 4 years ago now by some really amazing women that just saw big potential in our garment district downtown being revived. But these women, saw that there was so much design talent here, that we're in the middle of the country, that it's affordable, and we thought we had the ability to do something really big to help emerging designers kind of start their businesses here. And so the idea of the incubator came from this launch of this not fashion-oriented nonprofit, and that was kind of their ultimate big goal. Within their first 2 years, they wanted to lay a solid groundwork to start a fashion incubator downtown.
Within the incubator reside 6 designers, 1 from St. Louis and 5 that have relocated from other cities to bring their businesses here.
And I think one of those things that I'm hoping we can work with the Fashion Fund to do is to figure out how to get them more resources to where they can keep going, to where they don't have to skip a season in order to save up some money for the next one, to where they can go and do a trunk show in California, or they want to go to the Renegade Craft Fair in Brooklyn and sell their things. Really giving these people the means to do even more, I think, is really important for them.
People like Sarah Stallman are helping spearhead an evolution within the St. Louis fashion scene by bridging the gap between raw talent and valuable resources. She recently organized a swanky party with the St. Louis Fashion Fund to help push this initiative.
The idea behind this party is another one of those things it perfectly describes the city's energy to me. There was 2 separate fashion communities for a while that one of them had big events and was able to do these bigger things and be in these magazines, and there's this more underground fashion community, and it's these kids who are really making great work but don't have necessarily the platform. So basically the inspiration behind the party was to kind of bring together a select group of young creative people to just relax and kind of enjoy themselves, have some drinks, connect with the designers that are down at the fashion incubator, connect with some of the key members of the Fashion Fund, just really feel included. And it was, a huge success. It was something that people really did feel that energy. It was featured in Vogue magazine, which I'm so excited about. And that's just a taste of what can happen here all the time. Whether it's me or somebody else, being able to be that person that's kind of a catalyst for those types of really exciting things, I think is super important. I think seeing that I didn't have to leave the city that I lived in order to do these really amazing things was something that as soon as I realized it, I was so much happier being where I was. I spent my early part of my college years wishing that I lived somewhere else, and thought that I needed to be in a different city to make my dreams come true and to have the experiences that I've had. And it just kind of all really came together in a way that I never expected it to. It's sort of like this pleasant surprise every time I get this great thing that happens. I'm just like, oh wow, I didn't even have to go anywhere to do this. I can do it right here. And the whole thing's just been, it's been a surprising organic transition, but also it's just, it's a really happy thing to be able to do those things with people that I genuinely like and in a space that I genuinely feel passionate about.
Well, it was really all by accident how we started. We always really saw something inspiring about the city. We loved the city from an early age. And when we graduated from college, there were not that many cool t-shirts that kind of reflected St. Louis from our point of view. So we took it upon ourselves to start designing and printing our own shirts. One thing led to another, and here we are now. We've had a store on Cherokee Street since 2010.
We used to take the bi-state bus from our house in Creve Coeur to Washington Avenue and all the other gritty neighborhoods.
It's definitely the gritty, soulful city, but we loved it. The experience we got in the city was just unlike anything we could get in the suburbs.
While away at college, Jeff and Randy noticed the pride their classmates took in their hometowns and wanted to reciprocate that in St. Louis. The first designs included a simple STL insignia, a Where'd You Go to High School design, and a Highway Party shirt mimicking the St. Louis accent.
Everyone likes t-shirts, and they're a great way to kind of express your pride in your city. And so that's why we kind of have a bunch of different t-shirt designs with different themes and neighborhood references and very hyper-local St. Louis slogans on them that everyone can relate to. And anyone who loves St. Louis, it's kind of like you're remiss if you don't come into our shop at least some point in time.
So right now we're getting a whole bunch of samples, trying to see what products we want in the shop. So pretty much I'm looking through these shirts and seeing if they're cool or not. It's like Christmas here right now. I think we need to switch to this one for the one that's...
I agree, I like that. I like the heather.
Today's Monday, which is really the only day our shop isn't open for business. We've got our whole crew here, and everybody's got kind of their own little specialty. So we're like kind of working in synchrony here.
Every day's a little different, and as you can see, we have lots of custom orders on hold for pickup. We have customers shopping in the store, and it is just kind of crazy, but that's what we like about it.
It gives us a sense of a purpose, to be able to contribute something to the city and specifically this neighborhood. We are such a intrinsic part of Cherokee Street, and Cherokee is an intrinsic part of our soul as a company and our essence.
STL Style House is located in the midst of one of the most dynamic communities within the city. Diverse by definition, this neighborhood includes residents whose families date back many generations, a vibrant Hispanic business district, and so much more.
People are very conscious of the delicate balance of different ethnic groups and different economic groups living so close together, and it's really become a national model for what an urban neighborhood should look like.
But when you're creating something that doesn't already exist in a city like St. Louis, it's like the ultimate gratification because we're giving back to our hometown, and our hometown in turn is giving to us. And I don't know, there's some kind of camaraderie that we have where there's a sense of collaboration. I think it's a great time to be in a city like St. Louis. It's original. You can find yourself here. It really is kind of a choose your flavor kind of city.
Yeah. And you're not sacrificing a sense of place. I mean, you walk out on any street practically and you know that you're in a place that matters. You're in an important city that was built to hang with the big boys,
silver sky.